Alright folks, buckle up. If we're talking about the most polite aircraft carrier in the world, it's gotta be India's Vikrant. Yep, the one that's practically bowing as it sails. Well, today I'm gonna walk you through India's wild, bumpy, and honestly hilarious carrier journey. Let's dive in. So, India first got this sneaky little itch for a carrier back in 1957. They went to this big shot banding conference and came away thinking, oh, we're basically the leaders of the third world now. Like, they got all puffed up, decided it's time to run the show, and figured a carrier was the must-have accessory to make everyone listen. So they hit up their old pals, the Brits, yep, their former bosses, and said, hey, we need a carrier to flex a little. The Brits, being the crafty salespeople they are, were like, oh, we've got just the thing, our Hercules. Built during World War II, but we kind of missed the war with it. It's basically a shiny empty shell now. I mean, the war's over, Britain's broke, and they're thinking, sell this thing, make some cash. So they hype it up to India like, this is pure, barely used beauty, straight from our garage. India's like, wow, sold. Wire the money, bring it home. Fast forward to 1961. This carrier rolls into India's driveway. Barely gets comfy and boom, the third Indo-Pak war kicks off. India's like, I've got a carrier now, who's scared of me? They sail it into the Bay of Bengal, block the sea lanes, and actually smack Pakistan down pretty good. Okay, sure, the engine had some hiccups along the way, but whatever. It didn't ruin the vibe. After tasting that sweet victory, India's hooked. By 1986, they're back at it, snagging another carrier. Yep, they're the only ones in Asia with two carriers at this point. Talk about swagger. They're cruising from the Bay of Bengal to the Arabian Sea, playing bodyguard for everyone. Heck, their PM even took the whole family on a 10-day carrier vacation. Living it up. But oh, here comes the classic Indian chill vibe biting them back. By 1993, their sailors are so laid back they screw up big time. Second carrier's engine room gets flooded and just dies. Then, the next year, the first one catches fire pulling into port. They try fixing it for 3 years, but nah, it's toast, retired on the spot. Wow, talk about a fall from grace. India's double carrier bragging rights? Poof, gone. They're sitting there feeling empty like, what now? Enter Russia, well, Big Bear, sneaking in with a sly offer. Russia's just inherited the Soviet Union's mess. They're broke as heck. People can't even afford cold water. And guess what? Misfortune loves a target. Back in '92, their Gorshkov carrier's engine room catches fire. They're like, okay, we can fix this. But their wallets are emptier than their promises. Then in '94, bam, the boiler explodes. Russia's like, yep, we're done here. They can't fix it, they've got no tech, no cash, so the leadership's like, sell it, keep the lights on. They start shouting to the world, hey, Gorshkov for sale. Soviet made, 80% new, built tough. That's our brand. India hears this and freaks out like, no one's taking my Asian Sea King crown. So they jump on it, and Russia, oh, they see an opportunity, starts a decade-long con job. In '95, Russia's celebrating 50 years since their big war win, and they invite India over. After the parade, they show off their northern fleet, ships everywhere looking epic. India's drooling, but it's all a setup. Gorshkov's there, sure, but it's dead in the water. Literally towed around because that boiler explosion killed its engines. Russia's like, gotta bring the whole fleet so no one notices it's a dud. India's delegation is just dazzled by this sea monster. They're practically drooling, thinking, this isn't a carrier, it's a majestic giant lizard. Later that year, India sends their Navy deputy chief like, let's see Gorshkov again. Russia's all, whoa, slow down, it's not going anywhere. You're here, let's have some fun first. They spend days touring Russia, nights chugging vodka. India's no match for Russian drinking skills. After a week, they're so hungover they can barely stand when they finally see the ship. Russia's sealed off the blown-up parts, showing only the good stuff. The deputy chief's like, yeah, it looks solid. Can we haggle the price? Russia's like, bro, I'm selling 'cause I'm broke. Don't like it? I'll find another buyer. They bicker over cash for 3 years until 2000, when Russia visits India and the carrier comes up again. Russia pulls the big bro move. Hey, we're family, money talks tacky. I'll give you the carrier for $1. India's like, you drunk already? Russia's like, nope, sign now, $1. Oh, but there's a $900 million repair bill. India's like, well, that's fair, I guess. They agree, and Russia's like, since you're buying the carrier, how about some planes to go with it? My ships are picky, they only vibe with our jets. Let me make a little profit here. India's thrilled. They had no clue where to get planes anyway. So in 2004 they sign $1 for the carrier, $900 mill to fix it, for $100 mill for planes, delivery set for 2008. India's partying, oblivious to Russia tightening the noose. Alright, India's just signed this insane deal with Russia, and they're still clueless about the trap they're in. So Russia grabs the cash and gets to work, except, not on India's ship. Nope, they start fixing up their own Kuznetsov carrier, and kickstart their dusty MiG-29K program. They're tinkering away for like 4 or 5 years, and as the 2008 delivery date creeps closer, India's ship hasn't even touched water. India's finally like, yo, where's our carrier? And starts blowing up Russia's phone. Russia plays the victim card like, oh man, I'm so sorry. This repair bill's out of control, inflation's nuts. How about you toss in another $1.4 billion? Otherwise, I might just sell it to China for a theme park. India's jaw drops. They know they're getting played, but they've already sunk $900 mill into this. If they bail now, it's all gone. So they grit their teeth and wire the extra cash. Russia keeps fixing it for another 4 years. Finally, 2012 rolls around, and Gorshkov's ready for its big water test. Everyone's watching, and then, boom, boom, boom. 7 out of 8 boilers blow up. Wow, the Russian and Indian crews are just standing there, shell-shocked. They dig into it, and turns out the fireproofing's garbage. Russia breathes a sigh of relief, 'cause guess what? India cheaped out and bought those civilian-grade fire bricks from Hunan, China. Yup, India tried to save a buck and ended up roasting their own ship. They even had the nerve to trash talk us about it, like, oh, America, you'd never understand. Anyway, they begged Russia to drag it back and fix it again, which of course costs more. This thing, originally slated for 2008, finally limps into India in 2013 as the INS Vikramaditya. Total cost? Over $3 billion. Way past the $900 mill they thought they'd spend. And get this, it's locked into using Russia's planes, so Russia's got India on a leash for life, milking them dry. So why'd Russia have the guts to scam India so hard? Well, meet Singh, India's overseer guy. He's supposed to keep an eye on things, but Russia's like, hey, let's teach you some Russian. Next thing you know, he's in language classes, getting cozy with a teacher, codenamed Natasha, who's actually KGB. Someone snaps pics, and Singh spills all of India's secrets. Russia's like, jackpot. By 2010, India's CBI gets a disc with Singh's whole classroom saga. Yep, busted. Meanwhile, Russia's laughing all the way to the bank, training workers, reviving their shipbuilding game, all on India's dime. But wait, India's carrier circus isn't over. Let's swing back to their homemade pride, the Vikrant. This thing's been a 30-year, $23 billion slog, a total Frankenstein of parts from everywhere. It finally hits the water in 2022, and it's not like other carriers. Most leave a sleek white wake. India's? It zigs and zags like a freaking zipper. Why? 'Cause it's chugging along, nodding every 3 steps. Engine so choppy it's got no flow. Feels more like a sea donkey than a beast. Oh, and here's the kicker. They copied Russia's design too well. It can only fit Russia's MiG-29 jets. Nobody else's planes squeeze in. Russia or China could build them, but India's too proud to ask China, so Russia's like, double the price, baby. And just when you think they've learned, India's Navy sits down for a 3-day brainstorm and announces, yep, Vikrant needs a buddy ship. Can't let her sail solo. Okay, cool, but I've got a tip. If you copy-paste Vikrant again, Russia's gonna hit you with a super-duper markup. Like, guys, maybe mix it up this time. Anyway, that's the saga of India's carriers. Part comedy, part train wreck. From Britain's hand-me-downs to Russia's long con, and now their own stuttering sea monster, it's a masterclass in how to turn strength into a global punchline. Wow, what a ride!